I played the demo for Lies of Pi, and I was very negative about it, to the point where I was even mad, you could say. I think that was a little bit too harsh on my side, and I wanna right my wrongs today, because at that time I was already streaming for like 5 hours. It was in the middle of the night. I was tired, and so the small annoying things got amplified, maybe out of proportion. So I want to go over the experience of my demo again. Okay, to be clear about one thing, I so far don't like a single Souls-like. I absolutely love the Dark Souls franchise. Pretty much everything From Software does and puts out, it all feels right. Every button press feels amazing. Everything is very responsive. You have the sound, the effect, everything just fits perfectly together. And I haven't played any Souls-like that even come close to that feeling. But that mainly goes for the 3D Souls-likes. 2D Souls-likes like Sword and Sanctuary, I think are pretty amazing games. But for the most part, none of them managed to get that feeling right. I was asked to play the Lies of Pi demo, so I did after my 4 hours of playing Dark Souls. So I was already in the mindset to compare this game to the From Software games. There's a lot of similarities to Bloodborne and Sekiro, so of course I will compare these games. At least in one aspect, Lies of Pi can stand next to these games, and that is the art style. The game looks amazing. The enemy design is fantastic. It is a mix between normal and absolutely horrifying puppets, and from the trailers we can see there are some even more obscure monstrosities coming. So enemy design, top tier. The world itself, the city, looked pretty amazing. Ravaged streets, bloody corpses everywhere, broke puppets roaming the streets. The music, the sound design, on point. I have no complaints whatsoever. The game looks and sounds amazing. But that brings me to my main complaining point, the gameplay. As I mentioned, I don't like a lot of the Souls-like, pretty much none of them. Dark Souls, Sekiro and Bloodborne, they all have that very satisfying feel. Like every button press feels right. Every attack feels amazing. You feel the hit. You know you dodge. You know when the timing is wrong. Lies of Pi, the demo at least, gives you 3 different types of weapons. A light weapon, a medium weapon and a heavy weapon to choose from at the start. I chose the heavy weapon, obviously, because I like the big sword. That's what I always like to play with. The attacks itself feel good. They don't come out immediately, so they take a little bit of time, and the impact is good, and the damage accordingly. You can charge up a secondary bar with your basic attacks against enemies, and if that bar is full, you can make a special attack. That is a pretty cool system, good for staggering bosses, which is a pretty cool mechanic. You have your secondary, like your arm, like your prosthesis in Sekiro, where you have different kinds of tools, from a fist that has a high stagger amount. You have a scorpion-like grapple hook that you can pull enemies towards you with. That is a pretty cool tool, because there's a lot of ranged enemies. There's dogs, like they are very fast, and they are melee, so you can run around the corner, see, oh, there's one with a gun, bam, pull him, get over here, and just whoop his ass. That is a pretty cool weapon, very nice feature. And from the trailers we can see there's a bunch more coming. So in that regard, everything is great. The gameplay is solid, like the combat itself is solid. The tools and items feel good to use. There's a lot of different ways to make cool combos and plays with heavy attacks, light attacks, special attacks, and all the extra gadgets. But there's one big problem I have, the dodging. The dodging and rolling feels awful. I don't know how to put it in any other word. It feels bad. The roll itself looks like he's rolling on the spot. The distance might be there, but the animation of the roll looks clunky. It's not really, it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. So, and once you are locking onto an enemy, you can make a little sidestep, like in Bloodborne. These sidesteps are pretty much like a tippy toe. They don't cover any distance, and for the normal enemies, that is not a big problem, but especially for the bigger ones and the boss fights, that was an awful experience. There's so many attacks that cannot be blocked. That is a feature. You can block an attack, it will take a part of your health, and if you attack, you recover that health, like in Bloodborne. That's a cool feature, like I like that in Bloodborne, I like it here again. But there are attacks you cannot block, and I tried to sidestep, to roll, I couldn't get out fast enough. Even though I saw the enemy has a red outline, alright, immediately spam that. Trying to get out of his reach, I can't. I got hit pretty much all the time, where sometimes I was able to dodge, but I have no idea how. I tried to replicate the timing and everything, I couldn't. Someone in chat mentioned I should parry, I have no idea how. I should have read some of the text, but also in the trailers there is a way to parry. Maybe it wasn't working with my weapon, maybe the heavy weapon is just for blocking, but I wasn't able to figure out how to parry at all. I tried with different gadgets, so I was left with dodging and blocking. If you block, you lose stamina and you lose health. You attack, you gain health back. Perfectly fine. That doesn't make blocking super overpowered. The dodge has no range to it. It feels awful to use. It looks bad. In my stream I was saying like I will not play this game. I was very mad at that because at some point I was just dying and dying and dying to the same attacks basically. That's what frustrated me the most, because I tried to dodge these attacks and it never worked. I always got hit and I got frustrated. It might be a skill issue. To be honest, might just be a skill issue. Maybe I skipped one of the explanations that told me to, yo, idiot, press it at that time. Totally fair, might be me, but regardless, I felt bad using the dodge. I don't think it's a major problem though. It might be just getting used to it. That is totally possible, but it's just completely on my side. And I just have to get used to it and everything is fine. But I would like to see the dodge roll get a little bit of an overhaul. It feels bad to use. So these things are not major complaints that break the game itself. It's all pretty much change a few values and everything should be fine. Like the distance, iframes maybe. The dodge roll, the animation looks like it's too fast. If the animation would be a little bit slower, it would fit more to the distance it covers, if that makes sense. To wrap things up, game looks amazing, sound is amazing, combat is fine, dodging is defensive abilities need some improvement. I will keep one eye on that and see if they adjust some things, and if not, I might just suffer from a big case of just do better. I will probably try it. This looks at least like the most promising Souls-like in the last few years. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today now. See you in the next one. Bye!